Everyone, welcome. My name is Queenie. Thank you for joining us. We have Abby here and also Jonathan off camera. He'll be playing the crystal bowls and the chimes for our sound healing during this Yin practice. Before I begin, just letting you know what you'll need for the practice, your mat or something comfortable to practice on. If you have a blanket or two, please grab it, or maybe just something that'll give you cushioning for your joints, especially the knees. And if you do have blocks or things you can use, they're similar to blocks, books or pots, you can grab that as well. We won't necessarily be using the blocks, but it's just to help elevate your arms. And before we get into our first couple of poses, just a quick explanation of Yin practice if you're new to this. It's a little different from our other yoga practices, and this is more based on traditional Chinese medicine, where each pose we are trying to bring energy and activate different meridian lines in the body. So as we hold different poses, I will mention kind of which meridian line, which organ we are working with, and to activate these meridian lines, it requires us to hold each pose for a specific amount of time. So if you're ready, let's get started. Finding a comfortable seated position with your shoulders relaxed, spine nice and tall. I invite you to close your eyes. With your eyes closed, just bring your awareness to your breath. Without tensing the body, breathing in and out through the nose, see if you can breathe into the lower belly, perhaps feeling your ribs gently separate, your chest expand. And it will be easier to breathe into your belly by relaxing your abdominal muscles. Quietly check in with your energy level today, your body. Notice the thoughts that kind of pop up, your state of being, your emotions, your thoughts. Doing your best to stay connected with your breath, with your body for the duration of our practice. And I invite you to place your palms together into prayer. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice. If you're unsure, the easiest kind of intention to set is one that's focused on your breath, and creating that deeper relationship, that deeper connection with your inhales and your exhales. Using your breath to help guide you through your practice. The next time that you breathe in, take a deeper inhale through the nose. Gently sigh it out through the mouth. Blinking your eyes open, release your palms, turn your head, roll the shoulders. We're going to start by bringing the right hand off to the right side, reach your left arm over to the right, adding a bit of a side bend. Nothing super intense, but breathe into the left side of your body. Try to push your sit bones down. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring your left hand down over to the right side, and perhaps just letting your body drape over the right leg. Breathe into the back body. And then slowly walking your hands through center, pausing there for a moment, just noticing the sensations that run along your spine, your hips, your thighs. Relax the shoulders and your neck. Continue to walk your hands over to the left side. Continue to try to breathe into your belly and just notice the sensations here. Start to lift your right arm up and over to the left side, completing this kind of circular motion, stretching out the right side of your torso, relaxing your left shoulder. Push the right sit bone gently down into the ground. And then nice and slow, you're going to inhale, come back through center. And if you're sitting cross-legged, perhaps switch to have the other leg on top or in front. We're going to do the same thing, just the other direction. So having your left arm out to the side, reach your right arm over to the left. And again, notice the sensation here in the side body. We're not looking for intense sensation, just kind of this connection. Noticing how your body feels. Start to bring your right hand down towards the left side as you drape your body over your left leg. Just warming up the spine, the hips, the low back. You start to walk your hands through center, pausing there for a moment. Notice if you're starting to tense the shoulders up, relax your shoulders, let your torso get heavy. And then walking the hands over towards the right side, pausing there. And the next time that you breathe in, begin to lift your left arm over to the right. Feeling your side bend. And then as you inhale next, coming back through center. Good, again, move your neck, roll your shoulders. So that was just kind of a quick warm up of the body. And we actually don't want the body to be super warm when we come into our yin practice. We're actually gonna start our first pose in a dangle pose. So you're welcome to grab a cushion or your pillow, blanket, towel. And for those of you who have tighter hamstrings, calves, or ankles, you can start by just bringing your heels on your blanket or cushion. Feet are about hip width apart, adding a bend to your knees. You're going to just let your spine get heavy. So everything above the waist will be relaxed. Your hands can just kind of rest on the mat. You can actually grab opposite elbows. What I like to do is have my palms, my hands, rest on the inner elbows, so I don't actually have to hold anything. And they just kind of rest in that position. You may or may not need the cushioning for the heels. Without it, it can be a little more intense. No strain in the neck. Let your body relax. So in this pose here, we are decompressing the spine. There may be a gentle stretch in the low back, the glutes. You might feel the back of your legs, your ankles. If you can balance here, you can close your eyes. The more relaxed you can be in the pose, the more freely the energy in the body will move and flow. So in this pose, we are bringing energy or chi or prana to our bladder meridians. Bladder meridian runs along the back body, along the spine, as well as the kidney meridians that run along the back of your legs. And as with most forward folds, they kind of stimulate our liver, the spleen, as well as the kidneys. Notice if tension is building as we hold this pose. Try to let any discomfort or tightness kind of seep out of the body from the soles of the feet into the ground. hands are in the elbow creases, you can start to release the palms. And nice and slow, pressing into the feet like a rag doll, lifting up vertebrae at a time. The head will lift last. Coming to standing, gently allow the head to move as well as the shoulders. Maybe you need to kind of release the legs. Good. And then from here, we're going to come to our hands and knees first. Then walking the feet back, bringing your hips and your thighs down. Elbows and forearm stays on the mat, slightly in front of you, so that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Coming into our Sphinx Pose, your feet should be about hip width. It can be a little wider, especially if you're feeling any discomfort in the low back. If you're in the Sphinx where elbows are on the shoulders, but low back kind of feels already quite intense, like you're compressing the lower back, you can walk your hands forward. Otherwise, elbow stays under the shoulders. Notice if you start to sink your chest and the shoulder pulls up towards the ears. Instead, press your forearms and elbows down. Keep your neck long. Think about your heart pulling forward while your thigh bones press down, your toes reach back. So our Sphinx Pose stretches out the front of the body, the lower belly, front of the thighs, part of the hip creases, maybe even the tops of your feet. You're always welcome to walk the hands further away as this pose intensifies, or if you want to kind of lift a little higher, hands can come a little wider as you slowly lift the forearms, just as long as you're not bringing compression into the low back. No sharp pain there. Again, shoulders down, chest pulls forward. So this pose is kind of the opposite of our Dangle Pose, stretching the opposite part of the body. And in the front of the torso, our kidney meridians run, as well as the stomach and the spleen meridian. Notice if the neck is slowly disappearing. If you can, try to keep the lifting sensation and the heart pulling forward. Legs pressing down, toes reaching back, breath slow and steady. If you have lifted to seal and it's becoming too intense, you can always lower back into your Sphinx. So listen to the body. Almost there. Keep your breath flowing. One more breath. Allow it to flow in and out through the nose without restriction. And to release, if the elbows are lifted, bring your elbows down first. Bring your palms to stack, elbows out to the sides, and slowly bring ribs and chest down. Let your forehead rest onto your hands for a moment. Take a deep breath into your lower back. Feel free to sigh it out. And from here, Slide your palms next to your chest. We'll move into a tabletop position. In tabletop, you can find a round of cat and cow just to feel the spine here. You can breathe in as the chest lifts forward and the belly pushes down. Breathe out to round your back. And just briefly come into a child's pose, toes untucked as you melt the hips back. Hands can walk forward, or you can stack the palms or bring your hands by your feet. Once again, take a deep breath here through the nose. Sigh it out. Coming back to our tabletop. So for the next pose, really do recommend that you grab something that will cushion your knees. So we'll bring that underneath your left knee, whether it's blanket, towel, or you're actually grabbing a cushion or a pillow. And then stepping the right foot forward to the top of the mat. So having the foot kind of between the hands to start, bending that right knee. We're going to start with our baby dragon. If you have books, blocks, pots, whatever's handy, and you find that it's hard to bring your hands down in this position, this is where you can use these props. If you're okay without it, you can stay on fingertips, you can stay on the hands. So depending on how the hips feel, your foot might have to come back a little, and then it'll be a little less intense. You can also keep walking the feet forward, letting the hips push forward gently. Your right knee stays over your ankle. So we're staying here. So the series, the dragon series, usually is one of the most uncomfortable poses for many of us. We spend a long time, most of the time during our days, sitting in a chair. Your shoulders. So dragon poses are designed to stretch out the hips and sometimes even the glute. Stretch into the back thigh, back hip flexor, compressing the front hip, perhaps getting a stretch in the front glutes or the hamstring. From our baby dragon, we're going to move into dragon flying high. So we're going to bring the hand onto the knee and then the other palm as well, so we can lift the spine up. Shoulders again are relaxed. Continue to gently let the hips push forward. No sharp pain there. If you are starting to feel like the stretch being very intense, you can shift back. Breathe. We're working with very similar meridian lines. So in the front of the thigh runs our stomach and spleen meridian. As we're stretching the front of the thigh, we will stimulate those organs. The kidney meridians run along the front, bladder meridian runs along the back. Shoulders soft. Relax your face. From here, start to slowly lean forward again. You press your hands into your front leg. By bringing your palms down, you're going to bring the front foot out to the edge of the mat. Both hands on the inside of the foot. Flex your toes and the ankles, letting the knee gently drop out towards the side. You can stay on your palms. You can grab your blocks, whatever can elevate your arms, or you can bring your forearms right down onto the mat if the hips allow it. So still working on very similar meridian lines here. We're adding the liver meridian line. You're getting a stretch in the inner thigh. As we find stillness in these poses, keep your focus on the breath. Notice what the mind does here. Turning each pose into an opportunity for a mini meditation. Next time you breathe in, start to slowly come back to the palms. If you are on your forearms, hugging the right thigh or the front thigh back in. Good. From here, we're just going to let the hips slowly move back. So allowing the front leg to start to straighten. You might lift the toes, you might lift the toenails. Coming to our dragon split. Try to keep the shoulders down. You can either allow the chest to gently pull forward or allow your spine to round. Time that you breathe in, slowly start to bend that front leg. Good. I like to sweep my leg out to the side when I send it back, so there's less resistance. You can shake out that leg. Palms are shoulder width, firmly planted on the mat. Tuck your toes, lift the knees, let your head relax. Come briefly into a down dog, pedaling up the heels. You might feel the difference between your two hips, your hamstrings, your glutes. And then from there, you can just move your cushioning off to the side for a moment. Feeling your downward dog. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Just allowing the knees to gently come down. Move into a child's pose, untuck the toes. Take any arm variation in your child's pose. Once again, feel your hips, your legs. next time that you breathe in, come back to your tabletop. We will switch sides. So we're cushioning the right knee, or if you did the other leg by accident first, you're just gonna do the other side. So stepping the foot forward, have it kind of between your palms to start. You can walk the foot further away or walk the back knee back. Hands can be on fingertips, on blocks or books, or just on the mat. So once again, it's a gentle stretch in the front of the hip crease, the quad. You might feel the glute and hamstring of the other leg that's at the front of the mat. Stomach and spleen meridian runs the front of the thigh. Release any unnecessary tension in the body. Usually it builds up kind of in the neck, shoulder region, your face and the jaw, perhaps the toes, hips. Relax your lower belly. Starting to bring your palms to your front leg onto the knee or thigh, slowly lifting up. Coming to your flying high dragon, shoulders relax, hips continue to gently push forward. Unless it's super intense, you can pull it back a little. Feel your chest lifting away from your waist. Breathe. So this adds a stretch to the lower belly, perhaps even a little bit across your chest. When we are lifted up, we're adding kind of the kidney and the urinary bladder meridian lines. Nice and slow, you're just going to lean forward. Keep pressing into your knee, your leg, provide support. Bringing your hands down slowly. We're going to walk the foot up to the edge of the mat, both hands on the inside of the foot. Staying on hands, use blocks if you need. You can start to work on bringing forearms down. Then allowing your knee to point out to the side. Perhaps starting to feel a stretch on the inner thigh. So adding the liver meridian into this pose. that you breathe in, come back to your palms if you're on your elbows. Bring your left leg back in so the knee comes back in. Keeping the foot at the top of the mat, you can slowly start to send the hips back. You can lift the toes, lift the toe mounds. Hands can be on blocks or be supported, or just on the mat. Once again, you can stay just trying to lift the chest forward while you push your hips back. This will kind of isolate this physical stretch to your hamstring, or you can let your torso bow downwards, stretching the entire back side of the body, back of your spine, and the back of the left leg. Our kidney meridians can also run down the back of the legs. Notice where the mind might have wandered to. Bring it to your breath, to the sensations in the body. Next time you breathe in, begin to slowly release. Bend your left knee, and again, sweep the leg out to the side before you send it back. Shake it out. Again, you're removing your cushioning for a moment. Let's come to down dog again. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, move the legs, turn your head. Feel your body in down dog for a moment. Allow your chest to gently melt towards the toes without fully sinking into the shoulders. Have your sit bones lift up, heels trying to ground down. Breathe through the nose and out through the mouth. You can stay in down dog longer if you wish, or you can move to a child's pose instead. Again, arms can reach forward, they can rest under the forehead, they can come by your feet. Take a moment here, allow your breath to return to its slow rhythm. Breathing into the belly and the low back. The next time you inhale, start to release, lifting your head, slide forward. So you're lying on your belly. Now we're coming into a neck stretch. For some of us, if the neck doesn't really like turning to the right and to the left fully, so chin doesn't quite line up with the shoulder, you might grab a blanket. So you can try it with or without. You try it with first and see what happens. The blanket or your cushion's gonna go kind of below your collarbone so that there's a slight elevation of your chest, and that will allow you to turn your head with less stretch, or it won't feel as intense if your neck is quite locked in position. You might find you don't need it. So you can turn your head to the right or the left. Arms can rest by your side, or you can stack your palms and rest your head on your palms instead. Relax your shoulders. So our stomach meridian line runs up the thigh, up the torso, up the neck towards the face. So in this pose, we are still kind of accessing the stomach meridian as well as the large intestine meridian. When you breathe, see if you can notice your lower back expanding upwards, your ribs gently separating, as well as the shoulder blades. The next time you breathe in, allow the head to gently lift and just switch sides. Again, allow your shoulders to soften. Following the journey of your breath. Super simple pose brings energy to our stomach and our large intestines. Notice if any tension is built up in the body. Release it when you breathe out. Start to lift the head. Slide your palms next to your chest. Push yourself up slowly to your tabletop. Find a seated position. So as you sit, turn to the long edge of your mat. Feel free to grab some cushioning. You might need it, you might not. So I'm turning to face the long edge of my mat. Knees are bent. I'm going to let my knees drop out to one side. So from here, I'm just going to bring that leg towards parallel. So my shin becomes parallel to the top edge of my mat, and the other leg, also the thigh becomes parallel, 90 degrees in both the legs. Now your back leg might not come all the way down onto the mat. You can roll up a blanket, stack a few cushions, let it rest on something, or the inner knee just might be sensitive. Same with the top leg. Maybe the knee's quite lifted. You can stack a few props. You can roll something up, let it rest on something. So we're in kind of this 90-90 leg position, also known as deer pose. So you can stay kind of upright, relax your shoulders, neck stays long. You're welcome to walk the hands forward, maybe staying on palms. You may be able to lower onto your forearms and your elbows. Flex your ankles, especially when the knees are 90 degrees. You're just going to hold here in our deer pose. So the leg that we are folding over is very similar to our pigeon leg for swan pose. The inner thigh should get a little bit of a stretch. And that is your, again, liver meridian. If the head gets tired, you can kind of stack fists. If you are folded over, you can grab a block and let your head rest on something if you need that support. Staying where you are, or you can add a twist to your deer pose. So turning towards where the knee is pointing, perhaps again staying on hands, or again you can bring forearms down. And when we add the twists, we are bringing energy to our gallbladder meridian lines. In this pose, we are stretching the outer hip, moving towards the IT band, as well as working along the piriformis, a gentle twist to the spine. into your lower belly, into your lower back. Last few breaths here. And as you breathe in next, take your time to slowly release. You can come back onto your hands. And then releasing your legs, lifting your knees. And straighten out the legs first, shake it out. Feel some of the blood flush back into your legs. And then we're just gonna move right into the other side. So you'll bend your knees again and let the knees drop to the opposite side. Bring your ankle forward so your shin is now parallel to the other end of your mat. And just shift over a little. Thigh also parallel to the short end of the mat. Flex your ankles. Again, you can grab your cushioning, bringing it under the knees or even your hips to support it. Bring my timer over. And as you kind of get comfortable here, we're gonna just kind of either stay upright or straight forward, not adding the twist yet. And you can find maybe forearms down if you're coming forward. You can rest your head on your hands, on your blocks or something that you have close by. And just let the body drape, or you can stay upright. Continue to stay where you are, or you're adding that twist. So further walking towards where the front knee is pointing. See how far the spine will allow you to go. And perhaps again, just staying on your palms or bringing your elbows and forearms down. Adding the twist works the muscles that run along the spine, gets deeper into our hips, the glute med, IT band, piriformis, and also starts to stimulate the gallbladder meridian line. More breaths here. So again, try to keep the body Relax. Notice if tension is building up anywhere. And then next time that you breathe in, start to slowly release. Unwinding the spine, letting the knees come back up, straighten out the legs, shake it out. From here, we're going to move into a Shavasana. If you want to just take it flat on the mat, you can. You're also welcome to provide some support if you want to roll up some blankets for underneath the knees or support your back, your spine, your head. So making yourself as comfortable as you can. Legs don't also have to stay straight. You can bend your knees, feet down, thighs can collapse inwards. You can have your legs in butterfly. Arms can rest on belly, rest by your body, or arms reaching out. Closing your eyes. Allow your body to melt into the ground, surrendering to the support. Feel free to pause the video if you need a little more time in your Shavasana. Otherwise, start to deepen your breath again, feeling the lifting of your torso on the inhale, Softening on the exhale. Allow the fingers to curl in again as you move your toes, turning your head slowly side to side. Roll out the wrists and the ankles. And if it feels good, you can stretch the arms overhead. Stretch out the legs. Feel free to breathe through the nose and sigh it out. And bend the knees. Roll to your left side. And gently push yourself back up. Finding a comfortable seated position so that we close the practice the same way we began it. Find your spine stacked, but relaxed. Shoulders slightly pulled back, but soften. Eyes are still closed. Reconnecting with the sensations in the body, the ease of your breath. Noticing the effects of the last 60 minutes or so. We'll connect the palms in front of the heart, revisiting our intention. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, gently sigh it out, and bowing your head. Take a moment, thank yourself for making time for your practice. And as always, we thank you for joining us. Hope you're able to find some peace, love, and gratitude on the mat. Take that with you and share it with the people you interact with. Rub your palms together, create some heat between the hands, and gently cup your palms over your eyes, blinking your eyes open into the palms. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us in this slower practice. If you have any questions, comments, please don't hesitate, leave them below, or you can reach out to us. You can find us Phair Yoga on Instagram or on Facebook. And once again, thank you for all your support and your donations. We hope to keep providing more videos for you to practice at home. So hope we will connect. Jonathan says thank you as well from the side. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.